Well, hello everybody, and um, welcome to my first live in a long, long time. And if you watch my lives, you'll see that I've moved house, so I've now got a lovely office. And I have been using the summer to do some reflection, to get set up at home and to move house, and had a wonderful holiday. And I have been doing a lot of thinking, and I thought actually this is a really, really good time for a little bit of a reset to really focus down on what I want to achieve in my business, who I want to serve, and how I want to work. So the past 6 weeks have been really exciting. As I said, I moved house in the first week of the holidays, and then 3 days after that, we went on the most wonderful holiday to Italy, and came back home and felt firstly on holiday I didn't have enough time to reflect. Just really busy, stimulating time, and truly, truly wonderful, but not as relaxing as I'd hoped. And I don't know about you, but sometimes holidays can be like that, just that there's so much to absorb and see and notice that actually that kind of calming down and being present was hard. And then coming back to a property or a house that I'd lived in Airbnbs for longer than I lived in the house that I came back to, has taken us a while to adjust. We haven't had to do any sort of major decorating and painting work, but just adjusting to a new place and settling down was surprisingly difficult, even though I'm in the same geographical, pretty much the same geographical location. So wanted to just come in and just share a little bit about the journey that I've been on over the past 6 weeks, and share some news as well. So if you're new to my world, if you're new to Lead Your Way, I know a few people have joined the group in the past few weeks. You are very welcome. My name is Emily. I am a coach, I'm a trainer, I'm a creator of spaces. That is my vision, and my vision is to create space for you to think, space for you to grow, space for you to become more aware of who you are, what your strengths are, what your values are, what your purpose is, so that you can have more impact in the world, in your career, and in your life. And you can support others. So if you're in a leadership role, I will help you to lead others with more impact. And I do that through one-to-one coaching, creating spaces within my programs. I run retreats and away days, and I facilitate training and support teams as well. So in noticing the struggle, in noticing feeling just really unable to concentrate or to focus, feeling just that lack of clarity, I noticed that I really need to have routine in my life. So the holidays I do find a bit difficult, and I'm sure many of you are feeling that, and the need for your children to return to education. For me, it's the need for my husband to return to looking after your children, and my children going back to university, and sort of just getting back into a routine. So for me, I noticed that routine is really important for me. It's important for my health, it's important for my well-being. When I don't have that routine, I don't work on my fitness, I don't think about my eating, and I don't I prioritise reflecting, although I do naturally do that a lot, but I don't put so much intention into it. So that was my number one reflection, was around routine. My second was around simplicity. You know, when I've got clarity, when I know what's happening, when I'm not overcomplicating things, I know that I can have more impact and I can achieve more. If I try to juggle too many things, if I try to pick up too much, if I try to focus on too many things, I feel quite overwhelmed, and I am less productive and less impactful. So routine, simplifying, and not underestimating the impact of change. So I have had a big change and moved house. I think it's on that top three of things, the biggest things that you can do or whatever. And if you are experiencing change, so whether that be, led by yourself, exciting change like moving house or changing a job, or whether that be change that is sort of put on you, that might be your own poor health or a family, loved ones not well, and you're supporting and caring for them, or it might be that at work there's change. I know that in lots of teams at the moment, restructures, strategic change, new ways of working, all of those things are happening around us. And it's really important to not just survive through that, but to thrive through that, to notice that it's more challenging during change, and that's okay. And it brings up and surfaces emotions, but because of that, you need to create more space. You need to give yourself more time. You need to be kinder to yourself, rather than thinking, oh, I can do that on top of my everyday life. And we aren't super women. We are pretty super women, but acknowledging that actually, yeah, you've got a lot going on right now, and therefore it's that intentional creating that intentional desire and purpose around how you manage your time and your life, where you say no, what you say no to and what you say yes to, and making those decisions, both in line with your intuition, with your heart, with in line with your values, but also in line with practical decisions, with logic, and holding those two in balance. So those are the kind of three key things that I learned. And then I also noticed my inner critic. I talk a lot about our inner critic, and we're all very aware of that. It's come really into our consciousness in the summer. And one was around working harder. So as ever in the summer, it's harder to keep that routine up. I basically took at least 3 weeks off, and then had to take some more time off for another family funeral. And was juggling all sorts of things. So I haven't worked that much over the summer, and I had to drop stuff like doing lives inside this Facebook group. But that voice in my head was saying, Emily, you should be working harder. You're not going to be successful if you don't work hard. The other voice in my head was saying you're going to miss out if you are not working hard, if you're not present on all the social media platforms, if you're not doing all of these lives, if you're not responding to all the opportunities that might be coming in, you're going to miss out. And that's hard when you run your own business, but even when you work in an organisation, switching off your emails when you go on holiday and really intentionally choosing to let go is hard. It's not easy. And then the other voice that was inside my head was saying you need to do, look at all these other people, they're doing things like this. Why don't you do that? That sense of comparison, looking at other people's successes, looking how well they're doing or what they're doing, and that sense of, oh my goodness, you're going to get left behind, you're not doing the right thing, you need to work harder. Those are my kind of big voices that keep shouting at me. And the word that came to me when I noticed all of those voices was trust and believe, and surrender, to lean back, to simplify, to focus down really on what matters most, what I'm really passionate about, and what I'm intending, the impact that I'd like to have in my world and in my communities, and for the women who choose to work with me. And that's not new. I've journeyed through that last year when my mother was ill, and I think I sort of thought, well, I'll come out of that period and I'll be firing on all cylinders, and actually I realised that firing on all cylinders, being successful, achieving your goals and having impact doesn't need to happen in that way that we perhaps stereotypically think that I'm at my laptop all of the time, I'm working super hard, I'm driving things forward all of the time. It doesn't have to happen like that. And so my intention for the autumn is to simplify. I've got some great pieces of work, both in my associate work and my private work. I've got a really exciting opportunity coming up, which I will be talking to you all about next week. I'm going to focus my energy and effort on that thing that is coming. It's an opportunity to see me face to face, which I'm really, really excited about. An exclusive opportunity for only 9 women. So I will be announcing that next week. But my announcement today is around the simplifying. So I'll just take a sip of water before the exciting announcement. That is, I've decided to close this Facebook group. A bit like, oh, it's really, really scary, but I have decided to close this Facebook group. So I think I've got 377 wonderful souls inside this group. I am closing this group as of today. I will keep it as an archived group, so you'll still be able to access all of the lives within this group, but I'll be no longer putting content into this group. So I'd started over the summer just sort of posting basically what I'm posting on my other channels. I suppose I've lost that sort of sense of how I can engage really meaningfully with this community, and I wanted to really simplify and focus. So I'm closing this group. I am going to be putting my effort and energy into my Instagram account, which is at emily.petty.leadership.coach. I'll put the links. So if you want to keep following me, I'm on Instagram. I will still be doing weekly lives on Instagram as I grow that community. So I'd love to see you there if you're on Instagram. And I will also be engaging on LinkedIn. If you're not already on my email list, I've got some ideas about how I can shift my weekly Power Up, which is my weekly newsletter, in terms of thoughts and themes, so tips, but also sort of some soul stories about what's going on for me, but then some really practical leadership tips that are going to be coming through on leadership and life leadership tips that are going to be coming through on my weekly Power Up email. So if you want to engage with me, if you want to continue to stay connected, there are 3 ways that you can do that. So number 1, through my email list, my weekly Power Up. I'll put links to join all of these in the comments below. Number 2, Instagram. I will be still coming live every week on Instagram for my new series called Clarity and Calm, and on LinkedIn. If you want to connect in any of those ways, please do so. Just want to say, I was just thinking I've got something else to say after this, but I just want to say a huge thank you to this community, for the people who have watched my lives either here or on YouTube, and all of the wonderful women who've engaged with me. Many of you have joined me through my programs, through one-to-one coaching, through my retreat last year. Thank you for all of your comments and all of the connection that you've provided within this community. Please do keep leading your way. Please do keep growing. Please do keep learning. Please do keep connecting, and most of all, keep creating space for yourselves. So I also have another announcement. So also over the summer, I have deepened, I've been doing some personal development. So I have trained, or I'm in the process of training to become a coach within the thinking environment. So if you've watched any of my lives over the past few months, you'll know that I have been learning, absorbing, and I suppose connecting with the time to think. I was going to call it a methodology. It's not a methodology, it's a way of being, which has been created by Nancy Klein. If you haven't read the book Time to Think by Nancy Klein, I highly recommend it. And she's also just written a new book called The Promise, Not to Interrupt by Nancy Klein. So I have had 3 amazing days with a trainer and two other ladies. So it was a very intense learning journey, and the learning was super practical. So we were learning through doing, through thinking, and through creating thinking environments. And it's really cemented my thinking around applying that methodology into who I am as a way of being, how I connect with my clients, and how I deliver my services. Now, for me, that's a scary thing, because coming to a discovery call, someone might say, Emily, I want you to deliver this service for me, I want you to deliver this training, and I'd like it to be like this, or I'd like you to do some coaching work with me. These are my expectations around setting goals and driving things forward, and what coaching model are you using? And actually having the confidence for me to say, no, I'm really clear about what I offer. I offer my one-to-one coaching, my training, my facilitation, all of it I offer through the thinking environment. With the caveat that I'm in a work in progress, I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm hopefully leading myself as I journey into this. But I wanted to share that because, number one, it's a scary thing to maybe put yourself in a position where I won't win pieces of work because people don't want to work in that way. But I feel a very strong belief, really, that this way of working and this methodology is really powerful, and I'll be sharing more of that over on Instagram and on LinkedIn as I start to build up my knowledge and experience. And really, the way it's powerful is we are never, pretty much, even in our relationships, given attention. And there's a statistic that in conversation we have 11 seconds to speak on average where people are giving us attention. 11 seconds of attention. And in the thinking environment, we learn how to give other people attention, to truly give other people attention. So if you lead anybody, if you manage anybody, if you work with other people, learning how to give them your attention and promising not to interrupt is truly the most transformational leadership tool and relationship tool that I know. And we learn to think for ourselves. For some people, if I say, what would you like to think about and what are your thoughts? They've never been asked that question and they literally don't know. I'm like, just tell me what the answer is. And being given permission to think is truly transformational. I've experienced it in my life when I've been given that space to think, when I've been given that attention. And it is also truly transformational to observe someone thinking and to wonder where their thinking will go next. So to remove my sense of, oh, I'm going to come up with an answer for you, I know the solution here. My role as a coach, as a facilitator and a trainer is to give you that permission and give you that space, and to teach that within the team context. So if your team is struggling to connect, people don't listen to each other, there's disengagement, there's conflict, the thinking environment will cut through all of that. So that's really headline, but if you want to work with me, I'm taking a really bold step to focus on this area, to focus and simplify. So to simplify all my social media, so I'm closing down this group, and to focus my methodology, my way of being, who I am, what I offer, so that it is super, super clear to clients. And I share that really transparently because I know there's a risk. There's a risk and a fear inside me that, Emily, you're not working hard enough, you're not doing enough, you need to do it like other people. But I also know that that sense of trust and belief in my own intuition into what I know in my life has changed my life, and therefore, and also what I've seen in my clients' lives and what I can see has changed their lives. So that's me. That's my journey over the past 6 weeks of the school holidays. That's where I'd like to go in the autumn. On the theme of trust, next week I'm going to be talking all things trust. So pop over to Instagram and follow me there. And also I have got a big announcement to make about the one thing that I'm offering this autumn. That's my one kind of big public offer. Obviously, if you want to work with me privately, or if you want me to work with your team, then I am available. So please do connect. If anything that I've said has sparked something in you, and even if you just want to chat and find out more about the thinking environment, you're really welcome to just DM me and we can book a chat in the diary. If you're in London, I'd also like to see people face to face, wanting to get out more as well this autumn and connect with people not just online. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for watching, for listening, for being within this space. It's now time to end this space and move to a new space. So really looking forward to seeing you over on Instagram and on LinkedIn and on my e-newsletter. So sending lots of love.